Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be doing skill 1.5A, which is mainly focused on angle bisectors, and 1.5B will be on midpoints. So basically, we hear about midpoints and bisectors because they're the halfway points and they create, two congruent segments or two congruent angles. Let's take a look here at an angle bisector. So an angle bisector is a line that splits an angle into two equal angles. So bisect just means divide into two equal parts. So I'll be a little Latin teacher on you. So you want to make sure you're recording this discussion and diagram in your notes. Bi means two, and then sect means sections. So we are dividing it into two equal parts. And we are actually going to be able to explore the features of delta math today, and you're going to actually see how bisectors work, and you are going to bisect an angle, and you're also going to be able to perform a construction. All right, so one thing that I will do before we do some delta math examples is I am going to actually turn you loose on a construction on the delta math assignment. So some best practices with constructions are, one, you need to be documenting the steps, and it is expected that you do not know how to do a construction immediately, but you will need to actually watch the delta math video and imitate the steps. So I like to take it even one step at a time. I watch the delta math guy do one thing, and then I try to imitate it. It gets a little gimmicky sometimes, but I'd like you to just get the experience of doing the constructions. I'm not going to, put these on the exams, but I think it is a really good opportunity for you to get practice doing constructions, just so you can get a little bit more intuitive understanding of the geometry. And if you are doing any type of like construction work, designing things, there's actually computer programs, where you do things like, create two congruent angles or, things that are identical to each other. So let's actually take a look at some delta math. All right. So this first example here, we will just call example 1. And I'd like you to maybe just record a summary and a visual of what is going on. This is a very nice interactive thing here. So what it says is it wants you to draw your best estimate of this angle bisector, so angle QRS, by dragging a ray out from vertex R. So your goal in this problem is to divide the angle in half. And you want it to be as close to exactly in half as possible. So I'm going to start at angle R, and I'm just going to drag outward here, and I'm going to try to get it so that it is exactly in half or as close as possible. So it says click and drag, and we will submit. And that is correct. And I can see here that a perfect bisector would get 49 degrees. And what I drew, I was off by maybe 2 degrees. So you could see like my line versus the dotted line. So I almost drew a perfect bisector. So bisectors are best learned by doing. Another type of exercise that you're going to get here is actually estimating the exact bisector. So the goal in this is to create two angles that are exactly the same measure. And to get that, you just divide the angle measure by 2. So I could say that 58 divided by 2 is equal to, it's been a long day, 29. So I want my angles to be 29. So I'm actually just going to take this dot and I'm going to drag out from the vertex. And I'm going to get it. So that first angle says 35, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to try to get it so that it is 29. And right there, it is 29. So this is example 2, by the way. So you may want to include a discussion in your notes. And we have the data here. And now it's just asking us a multiple choice question when we drew this picture. So here it says angle UVW is equal to WVX. And fortunately, it does give you in the diagram what the angles end up measuring here. So UVW is 58 and UVX, this is saying that 58 is equal to 29. Well, that really is not particularly accurate. So that is a no-go on that. So I'm just going to put an X, and that tells me that that does not work. All right, next one. This says that UVX is 29. So I'm going to say that 29 is equal to 2 times the angle of WVX. So that's 2 times 29. So that means that 29 is equal to 58. And the answer to that is no. That does not work. Well, the next one works. So I have UVW, which is equal to 58, is equal to UVX. That does not work. And last but not least, let's try one more. See if we can, where we can go. One half UVW that's half of UVW, so that gives us 58 equals to UVX. So does half of 58 equal to 29? And the answer to that is yes. So therefore, that last answer choice is our answer. All right. What we will also have today, and I'm not going to kind of show this in detail, but when we do a construction, and there'll just be one construction on here. I don't put constructions on tests, but fortunately, what is nice about constructions is they do have a step-by-step video to show you how to create, something like a bisector. And if you just take it one step at a time and imitate what they do, you will eventually get to construction. It's not, the make or break problem of the IP, but it's something that I want to give you a chance of doing. So thank you very much for listening in, and hope that you have fun bisecting your angles.